Stop wasting time. I don't say that to judge you, I say it to wake you up. Because time is the most honest thing in your life. It doesn't lie to you. It doesn't negotiate with you. It doesn't care how you feel. Time just moves forward, and every second that passes is a second you'll never get back. You can lose money and make it again. You can lose a job and find another one. You can fall down and stand back up, but you cannot rewind your life. Every day you open your eyes, you are given a fresh opportunity. Not a promise, not a guarantee, but an opportunity. And too many people waste that opportunity because they think they have plenty of time. That's the biggest illusion there is. You don't know how much time you have. None of us do. That's why wasting it is so dangerous. Some of you are waiting to feel ready, waiting to feel confident, waiting for the perfect moment. Let me tell you something straight, the perfect moment does not exist. If you wait until everything feels right, you'll be waiting your entire life. Growth happens while you're uncomfortable. Progress happens while you're unsure. Success happens while you're scared, but moving anyway. You say you want more out of life, but your actions say you're comfortable where you are. And comfort is expensive. It costs you your potential. It costs you your future. It costs you the person you were meant to become. Ease feels good in the moment, but it slowly steals your hunger. You don't need more motivation. Motivation is emotional, and emotions change. One day you feel inspired, the next day you don't. Discipline is different. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline shows up when motivation doesn't. Discipline is doing the work when no one is watching, when no one is clapping, when no one is encouraging you. You waste time every time you choose distraction over direction. Scrolling is easy. Complaining is easy. Making excuses is easy. But easy doesn't build a life you're proud of. Easy keeps you exactly where you are. A lot of people stay busy but never move forward. Activity is not progress. You can fill your day and still be empty. You can run in circles and call it hard work. But if you're not growing, if you're not learning, if you're not moving closer to your purpose, then you're just burning time. Stop wasting time explaining yourself to people who don't want to understand you. Stop wasting time trying to convince people of your worth. Your work will speak for you. Results are louder than words. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is normal. Fear means you care. The problem is when fear becomes the boss of your life. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is deciding that your purpose matters more than your fear. You don't get confidence before you act. Confidence is built through action. Every small step you take, every rep you put in, every time you show up when you didn't feel like it, that's where confidence comes from. Waiting to feel confident before you start is like waiting to be strong before you lift the weight. Time exposes priorities. If something matters to you, you'll make time for it. If it doesn't, you'll make excuses. That's not opinion, that's reality. Look at where your time goes and you'll see what you truly value. You can't keep saying you want change while repeating the same habits. Your future is not decided by what you want. It's decided by what you do consistently. Dreams without work are just fantasies. Every day you delay, you're training yourself to delay again. Procrastination is a habit, and like any habit, it gets stronger the more you practice it. Tomorrow becomes next week becomes next year, and one day you wake up wondering where your life went. Pressure is not here to break you. Pressure is here to reveal you. Diamonds are formed under pressure. You either rise or you shrink, but you don't stay the same. Stop wasting time comparing your journey to someone else's. Comparison steals joy and kills focus. You don't know their struggles, their sacrifices, or their story. Stay in your lane and run your race. You don't need motivation. That might surprise you, because motivation sounds powerful and feels good, but motivation is unreliable. Motivation is emotional. It shows up when things are exciting, when the music is loud, when someone is watching, when the dream feels close, and then it disappears. It disappears when you're tired, when the results are slow, when nobody is clapping, when the work gets repetitive. If your life depends on motivation, your progress will always be temporary. Discipline is different. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. Discipline doesn't wait for the perfect mood. Discipline shows up on ordinary days, boring days, painful days. Discipline is quiet. Nobody celebrates it. Nobody posts about it. But discipline is what builds everything you admire. Most people are not lacking talent. They're not lacking intelligence. They're not lacking opportunity. They're lacking discipline. They start strong and fade fast. They feel inspired for a week, then distracted for a month. They confuse excitement with commitment. Commitment is what stays when excitement leaves. Motivation says, I'll do it when I feel like it. Discipline says, I'll do it because it needs to be done. That's the difference between dreaming and building. That's the difference between talking about success and living it. Life doesn't reward how badly you want something. It rewards what you're willing to do consistently. You can want success with all your heart, but if your habits don't match that desire, nothing changes. Wanting is easy. Working is hard. Discipline is choosing the hard thing again and again. There will be days when you don't feel inspired, days when self-doubt is loud, days when progress feels invisible. Those are the days that matter most. Anybody can show up when it feels good. Winners show up when it feels pointless, when it feels heavy, when it feels lonely. Discipline is waking up early when your body wants to sleep. Discipline is practicing when nobody is watching. Discipline is saying no to comfort so you can say yes to growth. It's not glamorous. It's not exciting, but it works. You don't become disciplined overnight. Discipline is trained. Just like a muscle, it grows with use. The first time is hard. The second time is uncomfortable. The 100th time becomes who you are. But most people quit before discipline has a chance to take root. You keep waiting for motivation to save you. Motivation won't save you. Discipline will. Motivation will hype you up for a moment. Discipline will change your life. Look at your daily routine. That's your real personality. Not what you say you want. Not what you post online. What you do every single day tells the truth. Discipline is built in those small daily choices. Do you do the work when it's boring? Do you show up when no one is forcing you? Do you keep going when the results are slow? Discipline is choosing progress over pleasure. And that's hard in a world designed to distract you. Everything is pulling for your attention. Your phone, your comfort, your excuses. Discipline is the ability to say no in the moment so you can say yes in the future. You don't need a breakthrough. You need structure. You need standards. You need non-negotiables. Discipline is deciding in advance who you're going to be, so your emotions don't decide for you. Feelings lie. Feelings tell you to quit when you're just getting started. Feelings tell you to stop when growth is happening quietly. Discipline tells you to continue anyway. The people you admire didn't feel motivated every day. They felt tired. They felt doubtful. They felt discouraged, but they kept going. That's the difference. They didn't wait for the feeling. They honored the commitment. Discipline is self-respect in action. It's telling yourself, I said I would do this, and I keep my word. Every time you follow through, you build trust with yourself. Every time you quit, you break that trust. Confidence comes from keeping promises to yourself, not from positive thinking. When discipline is missing, excuses take over. You blame your past. You blame your environment. You blame other people. Discipline takes responsibility. It says, this is my life, and I'm accountable for what I do with it. You don't rise to the level of your motivation. You fall to the level of your discipline. When life gets hard, and it will, motivation disappears first. Discipline stays. Discipline creates freedom. That sounds backwards, but it's true. The more disciplined you are with your time, your habits, your focus, the more options you create for yourself. Undisciplined living feels free in the moment, but it leads to regret. Disciplined living feels hard in the moment, but it leads to peace. You don't need to overhaul your life in one day. You need to start with one disciplined choice, one habit, one commitment you refuse to break. Small discipline compounds. One day of discipline won't change your life. 1 year of discipline will. Most people underestimate what consistency can do. They want fast results, instant success, quick validation. Discipline understands that real growth is slow, quiet, and cumulative. It's not about intensity. It's about persistence. There will be days when you mess up. Discipline doesn't mean perfection. It means you don't quit. It means you get back up faster. It means you don't let one bad day turn into a bad year. Stop romanticizing motivation. Stop waiting for inspiration. Build systems, build habits, build discipline. That's how real change happens. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Without it, dreams stay dreams. With it, ordinary people build extraordinary lives. Every day, discipline asks you a simple question. Who do you want to become? And every choice you make is an answer. Most people think confidence comes first. They think one day they'll wake up feeling fearless, sure of themselves, ready to take on the world. They believe confidence is something you find, something you wait for, something that magically appears before you start. That belief is one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck. Confidence does not come before action. Confidence comes because of action. If you wait to feel confident before you move, you will wait forever. Confidence is built, not discovered. It is earned through repetition, through effort, through showing up again and again even when you don't feel ready. Nobody starts confident. Everyone starts unsure, awkward, doubtful. The difference is that some people move anyway. Action is uncomfortable. Action exposes you. Action puts you in situations where you might fail, look foolish, or fall short. That's why most people avoid it. They hide behind preparation, planning, learning, watching, and thinking. They tell themselves they're getting ready, but deep down, they're just avoiding the discomfort of doing. But here's the truth: clarity comes from action, not from thinking. Confidence comes from experience, not from imagination. You don't think your way into confidence. You act your way into it. Every time you take action despite fear, something shifts inside you. You prove to yourself that you can survive discomfort. You learn that fear doesn't kill you. You learn that mistakes don't end you. That realization is the foundation of real confidence. Confidence is not believing you'll never fail. Confidence is knowing you'll be okay even if you do. Think about anything you're good at now. There was a time you were bad at it. There was a time you were slow, unsure, inexperienced. You didn't gain confidence by waiting. You gained it by doing, by practicing, by failing, by learning, by trying again. The first step is always the hardest because it's the step where you know the least and fear the most. That's why it matters so much. Action breaks the illusion that you're incapable. It turns imagination into reality. It replaces fear with evidence. Fear lives in your head. Action lives in the real world. And the real world is rarely as scary as your thoughts make it seem. Most people don't lack ability. They lack proof. And proof only comes from action. You don't trust yourself because you haven't given yourself enough chances to show up. Every small action is a deposit into your confidence account. Over time, those deposits compound. You don't become confident by winning all the time. You become confident by realizing you can handle losing. You become confident by realizing you can adapt, learn, and improve. That kind of confidence can't be shaken because it's based on experience, not ego. Action also teaches you who you are. Until you act, you're guessing. You're guessing what you're capable of. You're guessing what you like. You're guessing what you can handle. Action replaces guessing with knowing. Waiting feels safe, but it quietly erodes your self-belief. Every time you don't act, you reinforce the idea that you're not ready, not capable, not enough. Inaction trains doubt. Action trains trust. You don't need big, dramatic actions to build confidence. Small actions matter. Making the call, sending the message, starting the work, showing up for 10 minutes, speaking up once. Those small actions add up. Confidence grows quietly through consistency. The problem is, people want confidence to feel good before they start. But confidence doesn't feel good at first. At first, it feels shaky. It feels fragile. It feels uncomfortable. That's normal. Confidence strengthens with use. You build confidence the same way you build muscle. You apply resistance. You struggle, you recover. You repeat. No one walks into a gym strong. They get strong by lifting weights they can barely handle. Action is the weight for confidence. Failure is not the opposite of confidence. Avoidance is. Every failure gives you information. It shows you what works and what doesn't. It teaches you resilience. Avoidance teaches you nothing except fear. People who seem confident are not fearless. They are practiced. They have taken action so many times that fear no longer controls them. They trust themselves because they've been through difficulty and survived. You don't need permission to start. You don't need approval. You don't need validation. Those things don't create confidence. They create dependence. Real confidence comes from self-trust, and self-trust comes from action. There will always be someone better than you, more experienced, more talented. If you wait to be the best before you begin, you'll never begin. Confidence is not about comparison. It's about progress. Every time you take action, you send yourself a message, I can handle this. That message gets louder with repetition. Eventually, it becomes your inner voice. You may feel nervous. That doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're growing. Growth feels like fear because you're stepping into the unknown. Confidence grows at the edge of what you know, not inside your comfort zone. Action also changes how others see you, but more importantly, it changes how you see yourself. You stop seeing yourself as someone who plans and start seeing yourself as someone who does. That identity shift is powerful. You can read every book, watch every video, listen to every podcast, and still feel unconfident if you don't act. Knowledge without action creates frustration. Action turns knowledge into wisdom. Confidence is not loud. It's not arrogance. It's quiet assurance. It's knowing you'll figure things out as you go. That belief is born from experience, not imagination. Every day you have a choice. You can wait and stay the same, or you can act and grow. You don't need to feel ready. Readiness is built on the way. Take the step, even if it's messy, even if it's imperfect, especially if it scares you. Because on the other side of action is clarity. On the other side of action is confidence. Your future is not decided by one big moment. It's decided quietly, slowly, and relentlessly by what you do every single day. People love dramatic stories about overnight success, sudden breakthroughs, and life-changing opportunities. But those stories hide the truth. Nothing meaningful is built overnight. Lives are shaped by habits, not hopes. Direction is set by routines, not wishes. Every day, you wake up and vote for the kind of life you're going to have. You vote with how you use your time. You vote with what you focus on. You vote with what you tolerate and what you discipline. Most people don't realize they're voting at all, and that's why they end up living lives they never consciously chose. Small habits feel harmless. Skipping one workout doesn't seem like a big deal. Putting off the work for one more day doesn't feel dangerous. Choosing comfort tonight instead of effort feels justified. But habits don't work in isolation. They compound. What you repeat becomes who you are. What you practice becomes permanent. You don't wake up one day lazy, unfocused, undisciplined, or stuck. You train yourself into that state slowly through thousands of small decisions that felt insignificant at the time. In the same way, you don't wake up one day disciplined, sharp, confident, and successful. You earn that version of yourself through daily behavior that most people are unwilling to commit to. Your habits are always honest. They don't care what you say you want. They reflect what you actually prioritize. You can say family matters most, but if your habits show constant distraction, absence, and exhaustion, the habit tells the truth. You can say success matters most, but if your habits are built around comfort, avoidance, and entertainment, the habit tells the truth. The hardest part is that habits don't give immediate feedback. Good habits feel hard now and pay off later. Bad habits feel good now and cost you later. That delay is what traps people. They choose what feels good today and ignore what will matter tomorrow. Over time, tomorrow arrives and the bill is due. Discipline in daily habits is not about punishment. It's about alignment. It's about making your actions match your goals. It's about closing the gap between who you say you want to be and who you actually are when no one is watching. Your environment shapes your habits more than your willpower ever will. If your phone is always within reach, distraction becomes a habit. If your goals are written down and visible, focus becomes a habit. You don't need more self-control. You need better systems. People who win design their lives to support the habits they want, instead of relying on motivation to save them. Consistency matters more than intensity. Doing a little every day beats doing a lot once in a while. People quit because they aim too big and move too fast. They try to change everything at once, fail, and then give up. Real change happens when habits are small enough to sustain, but strong enough to matter. Daily habits also shape your identity. You don't become disciplined and then act disciplined. You act disciplined, and then you become disciplined. Identity follows behavior. Every time you show up, you reinforce the belief that you are someone who follows through. Every time you quit, you reinforce the opposite. Your mind believes what your actions repeatedly prove. If your actions say, I don't keep promises to myself, your confidence erodes. If your actions say, I show up even when it's hard, confidence grows quietly and naturally. Confidence is not a mindset trick. It's the result of consistent self-respect. Most people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can do in a year. 1 year of focused habits can change your life completely. 1 year of avoidance can destroy opportunities you'll never get back. Time will pass either way. The question is what you'll have to show for it. Your habits decide how you respond under pressure. When life gets hard, you don't rise to your intentions. You fall to your habits. In stressful moments, you don't think clearly. You act automatically. That's why habits matter so much. They become your default response when thinking is hard. Daily habits also protect you from excuses. When something is a habit, it doesn't require negotiation. You don't debate whether to do it. You don't wait to feel like it. You just do it. That removes emotion from the equation. Emotion is unreliable. Habits are steady. People say they want freedom, but freedom is built on structure. Without structure, your life is controlled by impulse. With structure, you control your direction. Habits are not restrictions. They are tools. They give you leverage over your own behavior. The most powerful habits are often invisible. Reading a few pages a day, reflecting for 5 minutes, practicing a skill consistently, getting enough rest, managing your input, protecting your focus. These things don't impress people in the short term, but they shape your future in ways that are undeniable. You don't need perfect habits. You need reliable ones. You don't need to win every day. You need to show up most days. Progress is not ruined by imperfection. It's ruined by inconsistency. Every habit is either moving you closer to the life you want or further away from it. There is no neutral habit. Everything is shaping you. Everything is training you. The only question is whether you're doing it intentionally or accidentally. Your future self is watching what you do today, not what you plan, not what you promise, what you actually do. The life you want is built quietly, daily, through habits that don't look impressive but change everything over time.